Jerk-offs coming to you from a kinda sunny London. Holy shit, it must have been a while between episodes. The sun is shining. I've seen people outdoors. Can you believe it? Just sitting outdoors in London. It must be mid-May. Drinking a beer in the afternoon, after work, running, trying to redeem their horrific English bodies in time for the summer, where they will lie shirtless in parks. Oh man, it's uplifting. It's exciting. And I am back. I'm sorry if the voice sounds a little scratchy. I have been a man without a voice. I've been doing a lot of gigs, so I haven't been able to rest it. And the podcast as well, obviously, scratches it out. I've been doing the honey lemon. I've been using all the tricks. I've been doing the steam breathing. But I think it's just because, you know, I've got absolutely no voice training and I talk all the time for a living. But I just want to give one quick shout out to the very funny Mr. Tom Stade. I opened for him last Thursday in Guildford. His show is fucking great. And if you are in the UK, he's still got some tour dates left. Tom Stade. They're all on his website. You can check him out. I don't know if I'll be supporting him on any more of them, but I highly recommend the show, and the other people he has open for him are great too. Other than that, thank you for anybody who has checked out the special. I've been getting some kind words, especially from the British Comedy Guide. Shout out to them, saying it was wickedly enjoyable and giving me a little bit of a write-up. It's on Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime, guys. So you can watch it for free with an Amazon Prime membership. Please give it a review if you like it. And as always, if you enjoy the podcast, please give it a review on iTunes. The Union Jack-Off, if you search that, it will come up. The name of the special, I should tell you the name of the special just in case. It's Daniel Muggleton, Let's Never Hang Out. That's it. You'll find it on Amazon Prime, on iTunes, wherever. It'd be great if you guys watch that and let me know what you think about it. As always, I love it when you guys get in touch with the podcast on Twitter at The Union Jackoff or theunionjackoff@gmail.com. All right, I want to dive into this episode because it's a great chat. We finally get some insight into living on one of those weird-ass English canal boats. Anyone who's been listening to the podcast for a long time will know those canal boats are the bane of my existence. I am not comfortable with them. I can't really explain why. I've seen equivalent kind of houseboat things in the Netherlands, and that doesn't bother me. But for some reason, living on a canal in London and having a regular job, like I think there's like policemen who do that shit. It's just wrong. All right? It is wrong. I don't want to be prescriptive. I know it's all about being yourself in 2019, but nah, fuck it. No houseboats. No canal boats. Not for me. But this chat is with a very good friend of mine. His name is Rohan Ganju. He is one of my favorite comedians from Australia. He's opened for me a bunch over there. He opened for my special, actually. He was on just before and absolutely destroyed it. He's great. He's just had his first Melbourne Comedy Festival. And most importantly, he has just come into the UK for the first time to visit his family. So he's been around London, he's been around Brighton, and weirdly, Guildford. He's been around Guildford as well. Guildford for the second time coming up in this episode. So basically, this chat, all about those first impressions. You know, I've been here almost 18 months now. I know how things work. But with Rohan, first impressions, coming off the plane, what does he think about the English? What did he think he'd think about the English? It's all here. So, ladies and gentlemen, jerk-offs, mates, wrap your ears around it. Here we go. The Union Jack-Off with Rohan Ganju. I don't enjoy the what do you call it? The Britney Spears mic? You know the
the ear mic thing.
Yeah. I don't know about that.
I think it depends on what you're doing, I guess.
But like, does anyone need both hands? Like, does anyone really? Like, what are you doing? Push-ups?
Did you see that
mid-set?
guy, Rawan Mislan or something like that?
I think I know who you're talking about. He like dances around?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had one.
He had one. Yeah, but I mean, I guess he's dancing. But that's like the thing.
And he's
like,
fucking bombing. He didn't bomb, but I hated him. Marwan Rizlan.
We're finally getting the true opinion of Rohan Ganju here. Australia's Rohan Ganju, but with a British passport.
Yeah. Well, I can get one.
You don't have it active.
No,
because you're like a triple threat, aren't you? You're like Australian, American, and British.
Yeah. I am a threat to all three nations.
Look, that's definitely how I see it.
Flying in under the radar.
It's like he's a citizen of everywhere. He's a citizen of the world. This cunt.
He would never do any. So I was born in America to a Indian father and a British mother, and then I moved to Australia.
That's pretty good. That's like, you know how parents. Like,
it's hot.
No, like parents sign their kids up for like language lessons real young. Like they did the better thing to get someone ahead.
Yeah.
Like having 3 passports is way better than your kid speaking Mandarin.
And they raised me to be a straight up genius, which...
Really?
Yeah, it's sometimes a burden, but most of the time it helps.
Really? Knowing you well as I do, it definitely seems like more of a burden. Like 100%. I've never looked at you, and despite the fact you are very calm, you've never seemed relaxed. Like at no point, like you could be stretched out in a sun chair, and I'd be like, "This guy's got the weight of the world on his shoulders."
That's unrelated to my genius.
But to give people some context on Rohan is a good friend of mine.
Mm-hmm.
And we have done many shows together.
We have.
And you still live in Melbourne.
But
you're here in the UK for 2 weeks, like a 2-week tour.
Yeah.
Not comedically. Absolutely not. There's no demand for you in any of the 3 countries you're a citizen of.
Arnie said I could have jumped up at the open mic. They had some dropouts.
Oh, look, man, just as long as you use the mic, you're okay with me. But yeah, you're here to see family. You're here to see the English side of your family.
That's right. I have 1 auntie, 2 uncles, a grandmother, and a sister in the country.
Yes.
Who I've had to go and visit. And the 2 uncles each have 1 child for one of them and 3 children for the other one.
I'm glad we did the census. Here. Just
Any more
So
riveting family history?
Where have you been? Because you're in London now. You've been in London. Spent some time. And I got to get at you about this very early on, because anyone who listens to this knows that you have been living in what is my greatest pet peeve in the entirety of the UK.
I've been living in...
You've been on a fucking canal boat.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
what you've been
yeah,
on.
yeah.
Been on one of those piece of shit floating people boats. Just like, we're floating people.
Yeah,
we just float. We're regular people.
This one wasn't even floating. It was just in the mud. It's been like scuttled there, like one of,
Wait, you serious?
One of Cortez's ships or something.
I thought they had to move them regularly. I thought it was like your car when you're parking in a 2-hour zone. You have to like rotate.
No. Putting the chalk on the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's not like that. My auntie is on... So 2 of my relatives live on boats.
All of them?
But insanely, it is not the Indian side of my family that is boat people. It is the English side of my family.
A bunch of Australian people being like, I don't believe him. This is fucking ridiculous, mate.
Mate, step 1, throw those kids overboard. But
white people don't live on a boat, mate. We recreate on a boat.
As soon as a white person owns a boat, it is designated as a yacht. So it's no longer kind of that crummy vibe.
Yeah. Can't live on a yacht.
No, my aunt.
What are you on the run? Who are you, Christopher Skase?
All right,
Australian
let's
reference.
not drag Skasey through the mud, Daniel, for a cheap laugh.
Sorry. I don't want to tarnish his otherwise.
Do you remember they made a
memory.
movie called Let's Get Skase?
It was just called Get Skase. It wasn't called Let's Get.
I thought it was
just Get Skase.
I thought it was Let's Get Skase.
A classic Australian picture.
Jumping over the like laser mines. And
it was kind of like Ocean's 11, except instead of stealing money,
getting scase.
It was just getting to a person that they were mad at.
Yeah, I didn't say it. Did they get Skase in the movie?
I assume they must have got him. It was a work of fantasy. For those who don't know, Christopher Skase, was it called like the Enron thing? Like he like defrauded a bunch of people.
Yeah, I basically just did one of those rich businessmen fraud things.
Yeah, like a pyramid scheme.
Ponzi scheme. Or, whatever.
Everyone's favorite scheme.
My friend tried to get me involved in a pyramid scheme that he was doing, and he was describing it to me, and he was like, so it's these like beans, and they give you energy. And I was just like, so you want me to like sell beans for you? And he's like, no, the great thing is you don't sell them, you just hire someone else to sell them. Then I said to him, man, this sounds like a pyramid scheme. And then he looked at me and he said, why does everyone get turned off when they find out it's a pyramid scheme? This guy is a cop.
Is he actually a cop?
He is a legitimate Victoria police officer.
Jesus Christ.
He has a gun and he gets to decide when to use it.
I mean, look, his defense, why does everyone get turned off if it's a pyramid scheme? Because top of the pyramid.
I guess that's how
you get
he
a
was
great view of the
it.
scheme.
But I printed out this thing from, not printed, I found this thing from Wikipedia that was like...
Excuse me, 2005, I've got an anecdote you might enjoy. So I printed this thing from my computer.
So it was on XP. And then I found this quote from the FBI explaining why a pyramid scheme is a scam, and I sent it to him.
Yeah.
And he went, thanks, mate, I really respect your opinion, but I'm going to go ahead with it.
Classic police behavior. Oh, man.
But yeah, no, sorry. So my aunt lives on a boat.
A boat that's in the mud. It's not
no,
even
my
on the
aunt
water.
lives on a boat that's in the water.
Okay.
So she lives in this kind of, it's like a communal jetty, and that's almost like the apartment block, or the kind of just like, if that makes sense. Because like everyone, there's all these different...
So like a strata, but for boats. Like that kind of thing? Are they connected?
No, they're not connected.
Do they
There's
have like
just,
a super that goes around all the boats?
There's, I don't know, maybe. But it's kind of like behind a gate and you walk down and you're on this pier, and the pier branches off, and on each branch is a different houseboat with people living.
That sounds far more legitimate.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. So that's
Yeah.
where she's living, because she's like an adult. My sister...
I mean, that's still not an adult.
I mean, yeah.
Like if your house changes position in a flood, I don't think you're.
I mean,
adult.
it's just going from lower to higher. It's not really
That's
like
what I mean.
changing.
I'm like, I want my house to either be submerged or not submerged.
But theirs is very... I could picture myself living on their setup. It's like, not that... It's
Yeah,
like
but
pretty good,
That's
to be
because
honest.
you
And
don't
it's like-
value yourself. That's a self-esteem issue. I could picture myself living on this floating bin.
But then my sister is in what's known as, I guess, a share boat.
A share boat.
Yeah. So it's her and just a bunch of other young singles. I think there's 6 of them in total living on this share boat.
Oh my god.
And you go down to the galley, and like you kind of just like cramped there the whole time. And
Right.
I
What's
was
the
sleeping-
galley? Which bit's the galley?
That's what I
Is that boat
probably,
for hallway?
probably erroneously calling the hallway with all the rooms in it.
So is it just like one central line and then rooms breaking off?
Just on one side.
On one side. What about the other side?
The other side is the hull.
It's definitely not the hull. The hull's the bottom. I know that because Hull is a shit city in England. They named the bottom of the boat. What should we call this bit of the boat that gets wet and nobody sees? Well, fuck, Hull, I think. I think it's an appropriate name for it.
Is that a joke of yours?
No.
Okay, they're just getting that for free.
Yeah. That's a great thing about this pod.
Yeah.
They see me on stage and they're like,
rejected
fuck, man.
bits. When's he doing his whole bit?
No.
But yeah,
So she lives on a share boat.
so she lives on a share boat.
but
That
can
one
you-
is in the mud.
Can you clarify this though? Because this is the most problematic thing for me with the boats.
Yeah.
She has a job, correct?
She has a job.
It's like in an office.
Yeah, no, she's
has a
she's doing
uniform.
quite well, I think.
Yeah. But she lives on a share boat.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm finding out, because she lives on a share boat and she pays $570. I don't know if I should say how
I fucking say it.
my sister's paying in rent. She's doing pretty well. No, she's paying $570, which is apparently quite cheap for London.
Yeah. Like, but this is the thing. Like, in Manchester, that will get you like a pretty dope room.
Yeah.
Not on a boat. Sorry, I should
Yeah.
clarify. A pretty dope room on land.
Yeah. not a cabin, not
Yeah.
a dope
A
cabin.
landlocked room. Land either side of it. You're not near a moat.
I do like the vibe of London of just trying to Tetris in as many human people as possible.
That is such a good way to describe it.
Even the buses is kind of like, we're going to put another bus on this bus just so that we can get around without taking up more ground space.
Yeah, we're going to put a bus on a bus.
You're going to like start driving buildings around because that just cuts into the sky and
Yeah,
no
yeah,
one's
yeah.
living there yet.
I reckon that's going to be the future. It's just going to be like offices are going to be just like the top level of a bus.
I'm just waiting till my
Sorry,
sister...
are you coming to Harris and Associates? Then go down there on the bottom with the rest of the commuters, you fucking dog.
I'm just waiting till my sister moves into a nice Zeppelin over Shoreditch. Just kind of roped there.
You got to move your Zeppelin like one of the housemates just carries it on a rope, takes it over, ties it to a new post, and a bunch of dogs are looking at it, shaking their heads, being like, have some fucking respect.
You're just like sliding down that rope to the ground every morning like a superhero.
Just firemanning onto your bike. Because that bothers me so much, the boat thing.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely.
They lock the boat, and I'm like, what are you locking this fucking boat for? Pirates? No one's looking at this boat and being like, oh, baby, there's gold in them hills. Like,
Bet there's some Apple products on there. Oh, man. That honestly stresses me out. That, like...
it does.
Yeah, that, like, I could be arrested by someone who lives on a boat. I'm like, what is this fucking water rats? Get out of here. Ludicrous. Water Rats, great Australian TV show. Probably the last great Australian TV show.
I'd say it was,
Or maybe
Stingers.
Stingers is
Stingers was pretty
God,
dope.
we've had some shit TV.
The last season of Blue Healers, where the whole town blew up or whatever the fuck. There's just like an eye patch of like John Howard trying to like catch people. Was it John Howard in that one?
Man, I don't think it's John Howard. Because we had that actor who was named after the Prime Minister. I remember that.
After him?
I remember as a child finding that confusing.
Yeah.
Being like, was this film when he was younger? Or?
Yeah.
I don't
The
really
Ronald
know.
Reagan of Australia.
Okay, so yeah. Oh, man. This is strange.
But yeah, so...
So you've been here, you've been visiting family, you've been staying on the boat. Did you like the boat? Could you see yourself living on a boat?
I could... The thing is, I was kind of like, I could see my... Because she was like, it's a boat thing, but it's real cheap. But then the cheap was £570, which is a little over $1,000 Australian, which is much more than I'm paying for like a nice house in a nice suburb.
Yeah, of Melbourne.
Of Melbourne,
the most livable city in the world.
Yeah, exactly. I think we got bumped recently from number
Really?
one. I think Adelaide won.
What?
No, I swear to God.
Jeez.
But anyway,
Adelaide's like a giant boat.
You could totally... man, Adelaide's super livable. Don't get me started. But no,
Yeah.
I couldn't do it unless it was like I'm paying like £100 a month
Yeah.
to kind of slum it on this like weird boat
Yeah,
with
I think
6 other people.
I think
Or
boat
5
rent,
other people.
boat rent should be like roughly the same amount of money as like a nice tent.
Yeah.
Like I think that's reasonable.
Or it should almost be like, the guy just wants us to... It's free. We just have to scrape the muscles off. Or like, it's just upkeep on the boat.
you just have to do like a boat tour a week.
Yeah. But she was saying this some weird... Because basically her landlord... Sorry. Her sea
Sea-lord.
lord...
Cannot call it a landlord. Absolutely not. That guy's like, hey, I'm your landlord. I just push him in the water. Does that feel like land to you, you fucking idiot? And he hits the mud, you mud lord.
I don't know if I like sea lord or boat lord better, but her boat lord owns... I think she was saying he basically owns like 4 or 5 of these boats that are all kind of moored / scuttled in the same
Is scuttled
patch
the correct terminology? Is that what she used? Because you've used
No,
this
no.
verb twice.
That's
And
what
was
I
like,
use.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I was like...
It's from... no, scuttled is an old like kind of pirate navy kind of term for for like sinking a boat or kind of smashing it on the shore.
On the reefs.
On the reefs, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
no. So she's got a...
But yeah, so
her
this
boat
guy
lord-
owns... the boat lord owns like 5 of these things.
He's got a fleet, yes.
Yes. Yes, sorry.
Sorry, her captain.
her master and commander.
I'm so glad you're into this, having been on the boat. I was like, maybe I'm being a snob because I've never, I haven't got my sea legs.
No,
but
I think it's a bit rude. Like, no, I like, I understand it, and I'm not like dissing it, but it's also like very funny and strange, and like.
Can I ask you about the facilities on the boat?
Yeah.
Running water.
Yes, running water, hot water.
Fine.
The
Internet?
shower,
Wi-Fi?
Internet, Wi-Fi, totally fine. Netflix on the TV.
They have a TV.
They have a TV.
Wow.
They got the Netflix on it.
Gas heating? It's
Gas
cooking?
heating. They don't pay for gas.
Why not? How do they
Boat
get free
law.
gas? What, are they tapping the mud?
No, it's their landlord just told them not to worry about paying for the gas or something, which
These fucking boat lords, bro.
I don't know how, because it's a boat. It's not hooked up to the mains. Like, I don't know what he's doing. Just replacing a big butane tank that's in the hull or something.
Okay.
But no, they got hot water. They got electricity and shit.
So anything you'd find in a regular house.
Yeah, it's anything you'd find in a...
It's not like lights off after 10, like...
No, there's nothing like that. No, it's totally the same as living in a normal house, except it's just kind of like... It's a boat. It wasn't built to function as a home. So it's like...
There's 6 of them on
There's
there.
a very small kitchen.
Yeah. How small are we talking?
Oh, also... So the backstory of this boat is it started... Because there's a little plaque that describes it. And it started as a boat that would just sail a boat out to... boat out to like the...
natural seaman, Rohan Ganju.
Some gin...
Yeah.
Some gin island or something. Go to like Cuba to pick up gin and then just bring it back to England.
Right.
So it was just like a gin boat.
Oh, so it was a functional boat.
It was a functional boat, and then after it was a gin boat, it got moored and blah blah blah, and then it got turned into a restaurant.
This apartment's a converted warehouse. So
Okay.
essentially, this boat is like the equivalent of that. It's like this floating warehouse, and now hipsters live there.
It was from back when I guess it made more sense to just send people in a boat to somewhere to get gin rather than just
You can't Uber Eats that shit.
distill your own gin in
Right.
English soil. But
Yeah, okay.
and then it got turned into a restaurant.
Yeah.
So inside the lounge is a bar.
A bar.
Yeah, just cutting into like 40% of the lounge space.
So wait, there's this boat lounge room has a bar. Like
The
a fully
boat lounge has a
operational
bar. Yeah, with a little fridge under the thing and all that
Get
sort
the
of
fuck
stuff.
outta here.
I know, no taps, but there's a bar because it used to be a restaurant.
I think I got to do like some kind of video episode of me
You
just
should check
going around this
You
boat.
should check out the boat. It's good. It's good fun.
I really thought they were living like like caravan
Yeah,
life,
it's
where it's like there's like communal shower blocks and shit. That's where I was at with the boat people.
no. It has a shower. It has a toilet. Apparently, the toilet works most of the time. For the rest of the time, you're using some sort of bucket.
Really?
Honestly, yeah. When I got
Wow.
there, she was like, "This was the bucket we were using until right before you got here because the toilet broke."
That makes me feel better. I never want to shit in a bucket. That's
Also,
just me.
it's one thing to obviously people can tell if you're sharing a house, people tell when you're using the toilet because they hear it flush and they hear you and whatever.
Yeah.
But I think it's very different to if you're on the deck having a cigarette or whatever.
Sure.
Then when someone uses the toilet, the way you find out is because the pipe that's jutting out the side of the boat just goes like and just sprays this like shit out.
Yeah.
Like
That's
you're
just-
trying to scope it, be like, was that a pee or
Was that just into the Thames? It just goes out.
Yeah, it just kind of goes into the muddy banks on which.
Oh, because there's no water.
Yeah, I think at high tide maybe it's in water, but the rest of the time it's just on this like bank. And because it's on the bank, it's like on an angle. So I was sleeping on the couch, and I woke up in the morning and stood up, and because it was on this, I just toppled the fuck floor.
That is amazing. I'm glad we finally got the inside scoop on the boats, just because like I've often referenced how much they annoy me. And I fucking saw another bunch of them, and they were just normal. It's actually a comedian.
Man, this boat would own you so hard. Like, I reckon you'd be so mad if you saw the boat.
I'll do it. Fuck it. This is it. This is me committing. I'm gonna go with the video camera to your sister's boat.
Anita will definitely. She'll be stoked as you to come down and stuff.
And I'm just gonna film me just commenting on how shit the boat is.
Dissing the boat.
Yeah. Hopefully with the fucking Sea Lord.
This old salty dog.
Yeah. Just so you know, for her landlord, I am picturing the captain from The Simpsons. Like, that's the guy.
I was picturing the guy from Family Guy where all of his limbs are pegs. Yeah, no, but like, I think it's just kind of one of those, like, you can, like, because she just really vibes it, and I, like, don't diss that or anything. It's just, like, you know, she really...
But, like, in the room, like, is the room, like, just the bed, or is there, like, space?
There's
like a table,
a bit of space. It's probably... I'm not going to try and do that.
But it's small. Like, it's cramped.
I wouldn't say cramped. I'd say small.
Okay.
It's not to the point of being cramped. Like, my sister has a double bed in there, and there's, like, enough floor space that you can decide whether the floor is dirty, to put it one way or another.
Right. That's all right. That's definitely better conditions than I thought.
Yeah, and then I think 2 of them are sharing a room.
Right.
And then the others are all just on the thing or whatever.
Yeah, like
also, insanely, they, despite being 6 people on this sloop, they like are also making this conscious choice to engage in this thing, couch surfing.
Wait.
I don't know if you...
I know what couch surfing is.
Yeah, right.
Like people, you put it on the website.
You put it on the website and you say, anyone can come here and crash on our couch for a couple of days or whatever if you're traveling.
Oh, man.
So they're like... They're not content with like the absurdness and crampedness and overcrowding of this boat. They also need to be bringing in just like these random like... Let's be honest, hippies to come and just like sleep on their couch for like a few nights out of the week and stuff. So when I was going there, I was like, oh man, I hope I'm not in anyone's way, because in my mind, I'm like, I'm in everyone's way. Like,
yeah,
there's
only one corridor.
Yeah, this lounge is like, I'm taking it up. Like,
this bartender's really making himself at home.
But then she's like, no, it's fine. Like, we do this couch. Like, there's.
If I was a couch surfer, which I mean, I expect a couch surfer has the lowest possible expectations available to any human being.
Yeah.
I would still be disappointed if the couch was located on a boat. I think that should be part of the thing. It's like, hey, got a great couch 2 meters away from sea level. Like, you know, you can't just be like, oh yeah, by the way.
She was saying that one guy hit them up and was just like, hey, I'm from here. I'll need to travel, blah, blah, blah. And then he said, this is the most important trip of my life. So then they turned him down because it was too much responsibility.
This is the most important. I don't know. All I hope is that one of them has a waterbed. I pray.
Oh, man.
Okay. So that's your London experience. You've had like a very alternative London experience. Out in West London, right? In the nice bit.
Yeah, in Brentford.
Brentford. Describe, How have you found London? Because you've come east to hang out with me, obviously. And you've been out there west. Have you done the central stuff yet?
Yeah, I sort of...
Because like you're the first impressions of Earth guy. Generally, like I talk to people who've been here for a little bit, but you're like...
Yeah.
This is your first time?
No, I've been here when I was a kid to visit family and stuff.
Like first time as an adult?
But yeah, first time as a grown up.
Yeah.
First time I've been here and I'm fucking. You know what I mean?
You're fucking?
No. I mean, I'm fucking in, like, I'm at the stage of my life where I'm fucking.
Uh-huh.
But I haven't been...
This is a strong move.
When does this go out? Will I still be here?
No.
Fuck.
my good friend being far too comfortable on the pod. Being like, maybe I could pick some girls up on this podcast.
No, it's the first time I've come here when I'm kind of just like... an adult and doing my own thing and stuff. Yeah. So it is. I actually am getting a vibe for the city.
Well, first things, what were your expectations coming? Did you have any? Did you have like? Had you kind of built up London to be a certain thing?
I was basically I got to this point when I was about to leave. Yeah. Where I was kind of just like starting to be like, yeah, leaving like, because Yeah, basically, yeah, because I'm from Melbourne,
Mm-hmm.
which is nice and everything, but also I started to just be like, London is going to just be like an actual city.
Sure. So
Like
you were
Melbourne's not an actual city.
this
I'm
is
going
the
to
real
I'm going to be
city.
going to an actual city. I'm going to be leaving these country bumpkins behind. They think they're in a city. I'm about to go to a real city, and I'll be a big boy in the big city.
So Melbourne's like the monopoly city. Now you're finally playing
Yeah,
the
yeah,
real
exactly.
city. in
It's like
London.
yeah. I'm done.
I'm out.
I'm
leveling
done.
up.
I'm done with the. I'm trying to think of a metaphor.
I mean,
I started before I had one.
Don't overstrain yourself.
Yeah, I know.
Just let it come to you
It's
naturally
been a-
later.
it's
But that's
been a
okay.
long
But you,
week.
yeah, you've been on a fucking boat couch.
Exactly. No, so
Does that
yeah.
give you jet lag? I don't know.
But then once getting here, it's like, oh no, it's a city.
Right. So you don't think this is like?
I thought I would almost be overwhelmed or something. I thought I would really just like
Is there
have
too
this
many people?
sense of losing myself in this huge sprawling metropolis or something like that. But
Right.
it's kind of been a bit more. Maybe it's just because I've been with family the whole time.
Yeah.
Because tonight I'll be staying in a hotel and I'll be meeting our good friend Arnie Pie for some beers and stuff like that.
Sure. So
Um,
this is your first kind of like cut loose evening.
Sure, yeah,
Let loose on
yeah.
the
So
city.
I'm hoping that it'll maybe give it a bit more of a feel of that sort of thing.
But you haven't found it big because like that. My first thing was like we were staying kind of quite central initially, like maybe like a little bit west. And then
yeah,
we went like way west, like to like the kind of end of the line,
Mm-hmm.
zone 4 west.
Mm-hmm.
And like being Australian, when you get to the end of the line of any kind of railroad, you're like, oh, there's like nothing there. There's going to be a 7-Eleven,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
an RSL club, and like no people.
Yeah, and a knifing.
Yes. Whereas here,
Way more knifing.
it's just more city. There's just more of it.
Yeah,
and
I
it
would
just
say
keeps
there's
going.
that. It keeps going, but that's the thing is it just feels like the equivalent
it's not
of
like
basic.
bigger. I know what you mean. Like it's not like bigger. Like as in you're not like, oh wow, this city's like fucking huge. Like it's just this towering. But like it just
Yeah.
keeps going. It like kind of sprawls and sprawls and sprawls.
But yeah, I thought I'd really have the kind of moment, like that movie kind of moment of just like I'd get off the bus in London and then like I'd be
you're gonna
trying to fumble with a map and I'd be like, "Excuse me, sir," and then a con artist would steal my wallet with some smooth talk.
right.
Like,
Yeah, you're gonna be like looking up. And,
I
like, doing
thought
a
I would.
twirl.
I was kind of looking forward to being like a legit bumpkin from this like small town because
Yeah.
Melbourne's a small town by.
Rohan, these are called beers.
Yeah,
They're in a pint glass because everything's bigger in London. I don't know what accent I'm failing at
you're
doing.
doing
right
an
now.
English accent.
I'm doing an English Texan. That's where I'm at. But no, I know what you mean because like, I think
I guess I was thrown by how familiar it felt.
yes, that's a good point because it does, right? It doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel foreign.
No, it feels like there's more. It feels like Melbourne, but there's more of it.
Yeah.
Which I guess is because Melbourne is very much modelled on. A lot of people who come over from Europe to Melbourne say Melbourne is like any European city.
That's interesting. I
Or
think,
any airport city in a European country is more specifically.
Really?
If that makes sense.
That's interesting. I know, like, yeah, with Sydney, it's kind of like more spread out, and there's like, I guess, like the beaches and all that shit. That's like that kind of gives it a bit of a twist.
Yeah.
But like, I think, yeah, we got to admit, like, you know, Australia, like, because I think we see ourselves as quite small. Like we're kind of like, oh, look at the cute little Australians with the dingoes. Like,
but money-wise.
But yeah, it's like they're both Sydney and Melbourne, both very expensive, roughly the same as London.
Yeah.
And like in terms of population, Sydney, Melbourne about 5 mil, probably 5 to 6. London's about
like
10.
10, yeah, 10.
But like once you're at that 5, 6, like it's close enough, you know.
But then when it's 5, 6 in, because Melbourne is also different because Melbourne's like the CBD, and then it's, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like Sydney's a big city. Melbourne's kind of like there's the CBD and there are the suburbs.
Yeah, whereas we just keep kind of moving.
I like to think of Australia as being kind of like the Beverly Hillbillies of countries. You know, like just all these fucking rednecks just like stumbling around down there, and then one of them like shoots, and it's like, oh, look at all this fucking uranium and natural resources we got down here. Like, And then they just get all this money and they don't know what to do with it. It's
Yeah.
like
Jet ski.
yeah, exactly.
jet ski,
Yeah. It's like, let's just slowly purchase Bali as like as like a sovereign state. Let's just slowly take it.
Do you reckon New Zealand will be pissed when Bali becomes part of Australia before they do?
I think that'll be pretty grateful, to be
That'd be
honest.
chill. Thanks for taking the hit on that one, guys.
Oh, just quickly, the Christchurch shootings. Holy cow, man.
What? Did that...
Just heartbreaking.
How did that... No, I'm not letting you off the hook on that.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you goofed. No, because like over here, I was so embarrassed. Like...
That it was an Australian
guy.
Oh, I wasn't even referencing that. But yeah.
That was really... Because
I was not surprised, to be honest.
I mean, it wasn't surprise. I wasn't surprised, like in terms of like, oh, how could we ever? Because we've had the OG for the whole time, like the Port Arthur guy.
MB.
Yeah.
Marty Bry.
Oh, of course. Yeah. But like,
Shouldn't give him a cool nickname.
I was just embarrassed, like because coming over here, everyone's like, oh, you're Australian, you're racist. I'm like, no, man, come on, we're not too bad. And then, like, you see the guy who does the shooting, and you're like, oh, that's every
Dude,
racist guy
I've
in
been
Australia.
living in Australia for 25 years as a white man, and let me tell you, it's really not that bad.
No, just like, I was just kind of like, it's really like, because the English make it seem like, you know, compared to them, like, we're just like, you know, like
but if you
apartheid.
think about it, literally the only stuff that Australia will make the international news for is the UN has told them again that they're torturing asylum seekers and they've kind of shrugged about it. Or like one of our legit elected members of parliament has walked in and like just for their whole speech just drawn a crude caricature of an Arab with a bomb strapped to them, like Pauline Hanson wearing the burqa or just like something fucking insane.
I preferred when it had something to do with like marine biology. That was the nicer bit. When Australia's World News contribution was like, whoa, look at this crocodile. Whoa,
yeah,
fuck.
exactly.
Now it's just kind of like, those crazy Aussies really like a strong border.
The country with a population of 25 million, so like one person to each square kilometer.
Yeah, but like, come on, mate. What if you want to drive a golf ball 3 times in a row and not hit anyone? Oh man, yeah, it's like that thing that I did like feel that though. I was like, that was the most cultural cringe I probably ever had. I think.
Yeah.
Like probably the worst I've felt as like an Australian dude.
Yeah.
Just because I've seen that cunt. Like, you know, like that picture of him, you're like, I've walked past heaps of you. I know the car you drive. I know that we're not going to be friends. Like, I went to high school with like maybe 1 or 2 of you. And like, thank God they haven't done anything, you know?
That we know of.
But yeah. But no, so...
But no,
so you're expecting London to be bigger. You're expecting more city.
Yeah, I was expecting to feel overwhelmed by it.
Yeah.
And even stuff like the public transport, it's like taken me a week or so, but I feel like not like confident, like seasoned rail rider, but I feel like I'm basically equipped to I'm just like, I kind of get how this works to a very loose degree and stuff like that. And
well, that I mean, the one thing that's funny about the rail, I'll give you a little rail chat, is that I think it's probably the best public transport system in the world.
I would agree.
Like, I think
so
it's better than New York, and
I haven't sussed the other.
Yeah, I think it's number one.
Big
it's probably
contenders.
slightly more expensive. Like New York's definitely cheaper, but it's number one. But the one thing here, like, this is the shit that I've like leveled up. Like over the year that I've been here. Yeah. Now I know like the quick lines.
The quick lines.
There's quick lines and there's quick changes.
Oh right, yeah,
like, you know where
to
change and you know which line to get you across town.
Yeah, no, because I'm still looking it up on Journey Planner.
Yeah, and that doesn't tell you.
Well, because then I was doing that. My cousin who I was kind of hanging with, he was kind of like, no, don't do that. Don't listen to that.
That's exactly right.
I'm not at that point.
Now I feel like I'm near that.
But yeah, because then you can suss when it's like, oh well, no, but you just walk between these, and blah blah blah.
Yeah, it was just like it's like no Victoria line, and like you know some of them will just try and like they'll try and get you like take a bus for like a minute.
Yeah. There's always
dude,
weird shit like that. Yeah,
I can walk for 7 minutes. Like it's gonna be okay.
Yeah, like when Google Maps is like, you'll save 3 minutes on your like 50k journey if you zigzag through all these like country back streets.
Yeah, I mean that's the one thing that I've been campaigning for this for a while. Is like Google Maps to just like acknowledge like the housing estates and like the kind of like rough areas and not just send you through there late at night.
Oh no, I wasn't. I was thinking more of just like too many turns and it's confusing.
Right.
Confusing, but yeah,
I've just definitely had those things where like on the way to a gig or something in a place I don't know, and it just sends you like the most direct.
Yeah, there
route,
should
and
be
then you're like,
there
then
should be a more
there's like a shopping trolley, and you're
bourgeois
like, oh,
version
no.
of Google Maps or something.
Yeah, just like safe Google Maps.
Yeah,
I think that'd be good.
soft Google Maps.
Yeah, no, because just like, you know that thing where you just like see like a shopping trolley and it's like missing all its wheels and you're like, oh no.
I also haven't been scared. I'm probably speaking too soon now.
Yeah.
But I haven't been scared since I got here, which was something I was kind of looking forward to.
What do you mean scared? Why would you feel scared?
No, because it's like there's like, you know, this Australia doesn't really have crime.
Yeah.
And I was wanting to
shut the fuck up. That's insane. It's like, no, but really it doesn't.
Kind of doesn't.
Kind of doesn't.
Kind of doesn't. I mean, like
in a hilarious. Like,
I think I know 3 people back home who've been mugged, and they were all traveling when it happened. But yeah, like I was waiting for the moment where I'd see a bunch of hoodies.
Yeah, right.
And I get scared.
Well, I've seen the one crime that I've kind of seen is the moped, like or the mountain bike, like grabbing your phone. I've had like a few.
Oh yeah.
I've had like a few kind of
just like zip past and like. Whoosh.
Yeah, but like it's just one of those things. I've had a few and I've kind of caught them all before they got me.
Yeah.
But then they like go across the street and get someone else. But a lot of the time they like drop the phone.
Wait. So hang on. Oh, you've seen them coming for you?
Yeah.
And then you
just put the phone in the pocket.
Yeah, right.
They don't do anything else.
Yeah.
Like the whole.
Have you seen?
It's like they escalate. They're not
have
just
you
like,
seen
oh,
Red
put the phone away. I'm going to bash him now.
Yeah.
It's like no, they just want.
Is it in Red Heat or is it in Twins? Where Arnie's... No, I think it's Twins. Where he's standing on the side of the road and then the guy on the motorbike drives past and tries to grab his suitcase.
Yeah.
But because it's Arnie, the guy just flies off the motorbike. Then Danny DeVito's like, what'd you do? You beat that guy up. He's like, it wasn't me. The pavement was his enemy. That's also another thing is then picturing myself like... Because I was like, I'm definitely getting mugged in this town. Like,
really?
I thought I would be.
So that's like... You see London as like a dangerous thing.
Not dangerous, but I just thought, like, I'm the kind of person who'll look like a good target.
Why? You're like a big dude. Why?
Yeah, but I'm goofy looking.
That's not it, man. I think they want like little or really big.
Yeah,
if
right.
they're trying to like prove something.
Well, yeah, there's always that. But yeah, so I've been in my head practicing for when I'm getting mugged.
What's your mugging strategy?
My mugging strategy is to pull down the collar of my shirt and expose, like, to start tapping my jugular and just be like, do it. Do it. Come on, you fucking piece of shit. I want out. Yeah. And just see what they do.
So they're just trying to like out psycho them.
Yeah, pretty much. Just kind of just be like, yeah, whatever. I want. Come on then. Yeah. Kill me, huh?
Actually,
tough guy.
It was funny. I was the comedian that gig with last night. He was saying that like with men, you gotta like when we see another dude, you just gotta assess in that moment if they're capable of more violence than you. That's like the line. It's just like, look, I'm gonna let that guy do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Because even if I don't, he will do it anyway.
Oh no, realistically, when I get mugged, I'll just be like giving them all my cash and being like, I can get my daddy to transfer me more. Like,
please just don't take my phone. You can have all the money. Can I keep my card? I'm gonna freeze them anyway.
Do you have this where like, just kind of like if I'm just like chilling at a place or something and like my mind's kind of going slack, I'll just get to the point of just being like, so if this, bunch of guys with motorbikes rock up, start shooting up the place, how am I defending it? Like,
I don't
going through the scenarios, like the ridiculous, like, even if you're just like walking down the road with like your girlfriend or whatever, and you kind of just like, so 3 guys come out.
Yeah.
Throw a kick to the first guy, chop the second guy. Like.
I like that. It's kind of like I have like a similar thing. It's kind of like a cynical action movie imagination.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like, well, clearly something's about to happen.
Yeah.
Like the one that I have the most is I try and like spot the terrorist. At the big event. I'm kind of like, because I don't know if you've seen them here, but they've got the post all the time, like see something, say something.
It's in
my head.
See it, say it, sorted.
There it is. See it, say it, sorted. They just try to British it up.
Yeah, yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
no, man,
Sorted.
it's being heaps English to be a snitch. And it's like, sorted,
If you
mate,
see
yeah,
some
sorted.
governor who's got a bit of a rotten stance.
The one thing that I love about those, if you haven't seen them, maybe I can put like a photo up.
Can
in
you
the
make
description.
most of the episode that impression I just did?
Yeah, just on repeat. But no, it's like if you haven't seen those posters, there's the one of like the guy and he's like going through a door. But like, I just have the ultimate respect for the artist who had to draw that because I had to do cartoons, obviously,
Yeah.
because they couldn't just get a guy to just like have the photo of the guy, and then everyone's like, I fucking seen him, there he is, like, you know, just like some out of work actor, like, so they had to like sketch him, but like they managed to like sketch a guy that genuinely doesn't look like anyone, but
Yeah.
could look like someone.
Yeah.
And like it's a good job, and they've kind of got like shading on their face to imply like a shadow.
Yeah,
It's
because
like-
they can kind of do that. You see it sometimes where like they know exactly what just looks weird in a face if
Yeah,
they draw on
they're just
stuff.
like, well, this clearly isn't a human.
Yeah, yeah.
Like they just give it
It's
that
a
extra
a
step.
humanoid.
Yeah, it's human adjacent
Yeah.
for sure. But okay, so that was. So have you like been? Have you?
Wait, just quickly, because you've left Australia.
yes.
And also, you didn't live in Melbourne. In Melbourne, they've started this thing because they have the PSOs in Melbourne, which are protective service officers.
They just
And
do
they're
trams
the-
and shit, don't they?
They're just on trains and trams,
Right.
and they're there to just stop things from flying off their handle. But like, they all just like they have guns, which I find fucking insane.
Like guns.
They have every single PSO has a handgun, and it's like 6 weeks course to kind of become one or whatever. Probably
Bullshit.
longer than that.
They're
but
not
you
even
know.
cops. They're just like dumb cops.
No, they're not cops. They're people who couldn't get into the cops, but like still wanted to push people
they give 'em
around.
guns.
And they give them guns.
Nah, fuck that.
Just in case, just because of all those shootings that are fucking happening on like the trains and shit. But like now because everyone hates them so much, and everyone's like, why the fuck did you give these guys guns?
Yeah.
Everyone just like hates them. My mate actually told me this story about how like he was just like, yeah, so I was just going down to the station to throw rocks at PSOs. And he was just like riding his bike back and forth, just throwing rocks like down at the PSOs into the station. And then they came up and tackled him off his bike. And then the cops came,
Yeah.
like the real cops.
Yeah.
And they were just like, what's going on here? And he just goes like, these guys tackled me off my bike. And then they just like, did you do that? And they're like, yeah, and like let him go. And then they just gave a dressing down to the PSOs, being like, you're not cops, you cannot leave the station, you cannot tackle someone off their bike. But no,
great.
anyway, so they have these posters up at all the train stations now.
Right.
They just say, it's like a photo of a PSO looking sad.
Yeah.
And it's just got on his chest like, we wear your words. Verbal abuse, end it. Like, and it's just like, it's like the public policy equivalent of like when your mum comes into school and is like, hey, everyone stop being mean to my beautiful boy. And it's like, everyone's just like, oh yeah, it's working.
Oh man, that's so funny.
Oh, it's
Little PSOs.
It's so funny. Little sad little
Pretty
PSOs.
sad officers.
Please stop.
Please stop her.
Please stop, officers.
Oh man. What was have you been through like the main stations here at like peak hours where they have like the proper big machine guns? That's fucking weird.
I haven't seen that.
That's really weird because like English police officers don't generally have
Yeah,
guns,
I know,
but then
yeah.
like Liverpool Street like down the road.
So they're full strapped with like a
yeah, they're like this is a big commuter area.
MP5
pretty real,
or
you know.
something.
You're just kind of walking through because like it's weird because like it's like a double thing. Like they make me feel uncomfortable because like they've got a big fucking gun.
Yeah.
And then they also remind you of the constant threat of terrorism.
Do you remember when
Because that was
It
before
was-
I came here. I was like, oh, like London is like very terroristy.
it kind of is, yeah.
But then like
My sister was saying something about how right after there was that car thing.
Yeah.
Then like she was like coming down the escalators, and then something like there was a loud bang. I don't know, something panicked people, and then
Yeah.
people just started running, and then like she just started running because it was just like,
yeah, people just
oh
go.
shit, it's happening again. But
my mate hid out just like somewhere in the city once. Just
Yeah.
because like it was like a false alarm. But
yeah,
like,
yeah,
They were just
Just,
a
like,
bunch of people at the top of
hiding.
a stairwell, just like
yeah, it's
You know.
full on. But no, do you remember a few years ago when there was? I'm pretty sure. I'm 99% sure that it turned out the guy hadn't done anything. But basically, it was right after the tube bombings.
Right.
And then some London detectives sort of saw an Arab man in a big jacket.
Yeah.
And started like chasing him. And then he started running and he like jumped the turns. Like, I don't know, whatever. But basically, the cop shot him.
Yeah.
But he shot him in the head 9 times.
Whoa.
So it was like, regardless of how you kind of play out that first shot, of like he thought the guy, because I'm pretty sure the guy turned out to not be doing anything. It's like if he thought the guy had a thing or whatever.
Yeah.
But then the other ones,
the other 8,
a full on like it's like the fucking touchdown dance of shooting a guy, just like.
Yeah.
And it's the kind of thing that, like, if he's a terrorist, you're the fucking king of the cops for like the next month.
I mean, I'm just like 9 headshots. Like, this guy's a Counter-Strike hero. Like,
I mean, is
insane.
there a head left over after that point?
Jesus, yeah. You can't. I don't think there's any way to justify more than 2 headshots.
I mean, a double tap is John Wick.
Yeah, exactly.
9
bang, bang.
is like you're the villain of the piece.
Like it's like 9's like John Wick ran out of heads.
9's like John Wick might be kind of racist.
John, have you been profiling? You know the hotel's policy.
1 for every virgin you thought you were going to get.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, come on now.
No, I mean, I think it's okay. No, what was I was just English people. Have you had much to do with like English people? Do you have an assessment of these Londoners?
Mostly the relatives so far.
The relatives.
Which again, yeah, I feel like
they English, like super English?
Yeah, they're all proper British.
Accents.
Yeah, full on. Yeah, no, because they will, like, my mum is,
shit.
not flags necessarily. One of my uncles was a career police officer.
Okay.
In the, and he rose to the ranks detective inspector, I want to say.
Right.
Probably higher than that, to be honest. But,
sure.
Yeah, so he's like full on, he's like a Londoner, like through
Yeah.
and through. Like, he was like, we went to Harrods and he was talking about how the first time he got to know Harrods was because he was just posted there to catch pickpockets.
Oh, wow.
Or
That's
catch not pickpockets.
Shoplifters?
Just shoplifters. Yeah, shoplifters. Yeah.
So I was all about that. I was like, pickpockets at Harrods. That's like the most English sentence ever.
It was probably them too.
It came outside and he gave it to a chimney sweep. Yeah.
But they're all fully English.
Do you feel any Englishness?
I'm feeling
in
it
your
come out a
bones?
little. I'm noticing stuff like I'm sort of, I trip over myself a little to try and be polite to someone.
Sure. And you think that's
I think that's
direct
definitely
lineage?
Well, I know that it's definitely from my mum.
Sure.
And then seeing who's English and then seeing all these relatives and stuff, I'm like, maybe it's just a cultural kind of thing.
The main thing they talk about is like the politeness and like the queuing. Love a queue.
They love a queue. That's
the big English stereotype. If you talk to English people, it's about they say like racism and queuing. They kind of have like a weird relationship with racism.
What do you mean?
Like, as in, like, they're kind of like, we're not racist, and then they just talk about, we're so fucking racist. Like, honestly, man, if you knew how fucking racist, oh, jeez, you'd love
I don't think it is racist. I think colonialism was birthed from, like, the weather.
The weather?
Because you look at it, what did they take over? Africa, India, China. These are all very warm nations.
Australia, New Zealand.
Yeah.
Malaysia.
Dude, exactly.
They got good climates. I mean, I always thought of it as just like they just didn't want to end up on a fucking canal boat, so they have to go somewhere. Maybe we can find land.
We've run out of room, but we all still love fucking. How are we going to deal with this?
Yeah. But no, it's I'm just trying to think of like...
the royal baby's been born.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised, to be honest, that I thought that would be fucking huge.
Yeah. I mean, I think it is in like certain places.
Sure. But I thought there would be, because like the royal wedding is like packs the streets, right?
But that's in Windsor.
What does that mean?
That's not London.
Right.
There's like Windsor, which is like maybe an hour out of London.
It doesn't pack the streets of London.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's like people line the streets of Windsor to like see the wedding. And
I'm
sure like
procession.
people would like, I'm sure every pub in the UK would have played the royal wedding. Maybe except for like an Irish one or some shit. But like,
Also, the fucking guy that I guess he was a radio presenter or something.
Oh, with the racist tweet.
What did he just... It was literally just a monkey being carried out of a delivery room.
Yeah, it was just 2 adults and
he
a
was
tiny
like,
monkey.
his defense is like, it wasn't racist. It was meant to be a comment on class.
Yeah.
Just like, what are you talking about, dude? Like the monkey class? If you ever refer to a monkey class of people, like...
I think we know who you mean.
Yeah, like, Jesus
like,
Christ.
Adam Good certainly knows who you mean.
Oh, man. Like, Jesus fucking Christ.
But dude, like, that, like, there was an article, I remember, like, before that, there was an article, and it was like, so how black is the royal baby gonna be?
It's
and
a
you're
quadroon, right?
Yeah, but it's just like... What?
Yeah.
Why are we doing this?
Wild. Also, I guess I just goes mulatto quadroon. No, but I guess I just missed it or whatever. But also just talking on British media reporting and stuff. There used to just be titties in the newspaper.
Yeah, page 2 of the Sun, I think.
Page 6, page 5 or something. I thought it was page 6 girls or something.
Yeah, something like that. I think it's still there.
Just straight up, it's still there?
You don't get the Sun. I don't know if you know about this, but the Sun, everyone fucking hates the Sun.
Okay.
Because they made these like horrible lies about Hillsborough. So like in Liverpool, they won't even spell out the Sun. Like, you know, it's like the Bloods and the Crips where they like won't use a B or won't use a C. They won't spell out the Sun.
I didn't know that.
They'll do like an S and an asterisk and then an N.
Yeah, right.
They'll be like, never buy the Sun.
So like, what's the Hillsborough?
Hillsborough was the stadium collapse at football. Like 94 people died.
When all the people crushed up against the fences?
Yeah, the crowd crush.
Yeah.
And then, like, they printed all this shit. Like, if anyone doesn't know about it, episode 2 with Adam Rowe, we talk about it.
Okay.
But yeah, basically, like the Sun like printed all these lies, like being like they were like pickpocketing the dead and like pissing on them and shit, and it's just like just a lie,
just straight up falsehood.
Yeah, and then like that's why Liverpool's like, fuck you guys. Like,
but them titties, are they hot?
I don't know. I've never seen newspaper titties. I've never seen broadsheet baps. Haven't done it. That's so weird though.
The titties thing.
Yeah, that's like very odd.
I find that insane, especially from a country that's well known for its kind of being kind of puritanical and conservative almost.
Yeah, I think it's just like, you know, they get their weird little outlets, and like that's one of them. Like
in Japan, it's all the tentacle stuff.
Yeah, hentai. But yeah, it's like I'm just trying to think. Like, so you've been in London. Where else have you been to so far? Because you're doing the family tour.
Yeah, so I've been to London. I've been to Brighton. I've been to Guildford.
Okay, let's go to
in
Brighton.
London, I've been to Brentford. I've been to wherever my auntie lives. So, you know, I'd have to give you the longitude and latitude of...
Don't be silly. Let's go to Brighton.
Yeah.
Because Brighton...
Sorry. I got corrected because it's Hove.
Yes.
And
fucking take that so seriously.
Yeah, no, that's the thing, because my grandma was telling me that they all make fun of my uncle who lives out there as they say that he lives in Hove actually.
Hove actually.
Because it's like, if you say to someone from Hove that, oh, if you're from Brighton, I'm in Hove actually.
Ah, that's funny.
Yeah. So
Hove actually.
Like,
because they do that, man.
Yeah. So they're like, you'll be coming up from Hove actually, right? Like, you know.
Yeah, because like, I went to shows down there last year. I'd be like, so you're from Brighton? I was like, no, I'm from Hove. And I'm like, where's Hove? And he's like, well, 25 meters that way.
Yeah.
And I'm like, does it matter? And he's like, yes, it fucking matters.
Absolutely matters.
Yeah. How'd you find that? Because English people love Brighton / Hove actually. They love it.
I also loved it, to be honest. Other than the fact that, unlike the rest of England, it has inclines.
Yes, hilly.
Yeah,
it's steep.
But no, I did really enjoy it. It felt very much like it's like I guess it's a city.
I think it's a city.
That's another thing, is like in Australia, I feel like there's one city per state.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Pretty much.
Like, you know, technically Warrnambool's a city, but like...
Yeah, come on.
Come on now. Like, you know, just ruffling the hair of your little 8-year-old.
Of course you're a
buddy.
city.
You're getting big and tall. Like,
you can be anything you want.
But,
yeah.
Yeah, no, so there's multiple cities. But yeah, so yeah, they're in Brighton / Hove kind of thing. And it's just like really nice houses in really scenic locations. And then like some big old pier that everyone is really into.
Brighton Pier?
Yeah.
Looks like Santa Monica Pier?
If that helps.
For some people. No, so what was your impression? Brighton, like, no, very alternative.
Yeah,
Did you pick
I
up
got
on that?
sense. I got that sense that it was.
Were you sitting there being like, "Oh yeah, these are some lesbians," because that's the that's like the main
No,
main
my
thing out
uncle
of
did
there.
say that he was like, "There's a lot of money in here because there's a lot of gay couples, and because gay couples don't have kids,
And it's also a commuter town to London. Most people who live in Brighton don't work in Brighton.
they all commute into London." Yeah, someone
Every
told
day.
me that London's got a population of 10 million residents, but then it becomes 14 million from the hours of 9 to 5.
Yeah, it's wild. And you can tell because like if you walk around London, you'll see like all those markets and like basically businesses around the business, like cafes and stuff around the business precincts,
Yeah.
and they just close on the weekend. Like
Yeah.
whereas like in Sydney, like for a business to close on the weekends, like
It's
crazy.
kind of bonkers.
Yeah, whereas here they're just like, no, there's absolutely no money.
Yeah,
in us
yeah.
being open when there's not the workers here.
Okay, so Brighton's a commuter town. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so there's a bit of that as well. That's actually the place.
But yeah, no, it definitely felt like this is where you go if you're young and you've made money, but you've made it ethically.
Yeah, I could see that.
Like it's kind of like it's like when I say young, I don't mean young, obviously.
Yeah, like
But it's like, kind of like got a bit of a yuppie vibe, but then like not the corporate yuppies. It's kind of the like the more alternative-y kind of.
you startup yuppies. Yuppies,
Yeah.
you yuppies who recycle religiously.
Yeah, not like not startup per se, but just kind of like yuppies who haven't sold out or at least don't think they've sold out.
Yeah. So have you done like and Guildford? I mean, I guess we can talk Guildford because I went to Guildford for the first time last night.
Guildford, I don't know about you, but I would describe it as the most like classic example of a British town.
Yeah, it does seem like that. It's got kind of like alleys.
Just because when you picture England or Britain, you picture everyone being in their 70s. And that's
Really?
Guildford.
It's funny that you picture everyone as being old.
Not
Because
like
I don't disagree. Like,
not-
I'm like, yeah, kind of.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, obviously you're picturing London, you're like, whatever. But, like, basically when you think of, as a non-British person, when you think of a British person, you think of, like, like, just an old person telling you to, like, switch the position of the knife and fork for some reason. Like,
Yeah.
and then, like, that's Guildford and that's everyone in Guildford.
Yeah, it's like someone correcting you.
Yeah.
Hey, do it the way that I've always done it.
Yeah.
That's
But then
like
as
England.
they're correcting you, they're also pouring you tea and like giving you a delicious biscuit.
There's like a hospitality, but they are changing it.
Super polite, but then also mildly coercive.
That's interesting. That is interesting.
It was kind of like it's the perfect place for my grandma to be living. I'm stoked that she's there.
Yeah,
But
she's
then
just
it's like
loving You're just like,
I would see the occasional young person
Yeah.
in Guildford and I'd just be like, "Pff, you blew it."
get out of here.
Yeah.
So like, obviously Guildford, not a place you could see yourself settling down anytime
Not at this
soon.
age, no.
Maybe in about 40 years. Give it a crack.
How was your gig there? What was the crowd like? Because that'd be...
They were fine. They were the guy that I was.
But like demographically,
definitely older.
I don't care how you went.
Definitely older. White.
Yeah.
Very white.
Mm.
Couple of Asians up front, as in like what Australians would refer to as Asians,
Yeah.
and they were bloody Australian.
Oh.
Generally, I've found here at gigs, if someone is like what the English would say is East Asian,
Yeah.
a lot of the time they've turned out to be Australian, which like, yeah, because I find that I find like a lack of Asian people here. Like in Sydney,
I
there's, like, a
hadn't quite
huge
clocked
Asian
it, but yeah.
population.
Yeah, Australia, because Australia's...
Yeah, we're in Asia.
Yeah.
And it
basically.
makes total sense, but
Yeah.
like I just find it weird because like that's what I kind of grew up with.
Yeah.
And here, like,
Because you always had like a bit of yellow fever in that sense.
yeah, that was like my friends in high school when I was like year 9 to year 11. It was just me and the Asians, bro. Me and
Really?
the Asian gangsters. Yeah,
Oh man, you were not popular.
yeah. I was hanging out, playing Dota at the Net Cafe.
Forced to hang with the Asians.
How dare you? I chose
Yeah.
my people.
No, I'm joking.
One of them's coming over here actually in July.
Oh, great.
It's really
no, not most, but like I'm friends with all the Asian fellows in high school.
Yeah, because like in my head they're definitely like our kind of second biggest ethnic group.
Yeah,
like
although in order to make that qualify, you have to lump all Asians into the one group.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I know everyone knows what you mean when you say
whispering in case any British people hear.
Yeah.
I told you they're racist.
Oh, you can't say wog in this country.
Yeah, that's real offensive.
That's insanely because in wog in Australia, in Australia, wog means someone's like Greek or Italian, and it's almost become like an affectionate one. It's almost like you would very rarely hear someone use it in a genuine, hurtful or
I mean, like I probably wouldn't say it like often. But I wouldn't feel like I couldn't say it.
Well, I feel like it's kind of kosher in Australia.
Yeah.
To describe someone as like, oh, they're a classic wog.
Yeah.
And that's like, you can say that without it, because they would describe themselves in that way.
I mean, if you look at Australian comedy, like that was a huge...
Well, yeah, Super Wog, The Wog Boy.
Yeah, and like...
Pizza.
Fat Pizza, yeah.
Fat Pizza, yeah.
And they just like... And that's the thing, they still tour just like under the kind of like the Wog comedy banner.
That's exactly right, yeah, because
it's kind of a communal thing, because like it's like, it's not like just Greek or like just Italian or just Lebanese. Like it's kind of like...
Well, because I think it literally stands for Western Oriental Gentleman.
That's what I had heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I thought it was like an argument.
It's also... I have a sneaking suspicion that it's not that it was just... You say wog because if you were to do a racist impersonation of a Greek or an Italian speaking Greek or Italian...
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh, wog, and you say it.
What? That is a ludicrous theory. I'm not behind this at all.
Think about it. Like, wog sounds like an autumn... Like, it sounds... like Erdy-gurdy for the Swedish chef.
It's like a Sesame Street racist.
It's like a kind
Sesame
of...
Street puppet.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just don't believe that Australian racists know what acronyms are.
No, they fucking know, mate. UPF, they know.
What the fuck does that mean?
Do you not know that?
No.
Oh, that's the United Patriots Front. That's like our racist group.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I thought it was just called Parliament.
Hey, there we go. Keeping it topical. Hot takes. How'd you get that taken to the country? Yeah. No, it's like that's an interesting change.
But then yes, over here it is the end of the word gollywog.
Yes.
Which is obviously we all know what a gollywog is. So then if you say wog over here, it is you're using it to slur at
a black guy.
A black guy.
Or a black lady.
Black guy, black lady, yeah.
Yeah. No, that's very strange because
black person.
Black person. Oh yeah, that's true. That's another option. But no, it's like it's definitely interesting that like if you said that to a black person in Australia, they'd just be like, "What?"
Yeah.
Like they wouldn't take offense at all. Whereas here, like, I think it's like as bad as like the N-word, really.
Yeah. That's what my sister was really like, don't use that word. Like,
just kind of assuming that you say it a lot.
No, not even that. Just like, because you just kind of will casually drop it in Australia because it's like, not that bad kind of thing.
Well, it's not that bad at all. Like,
they all refer to themselves as it.
Yeah, they go under the banner of it.
Yeah.
That's like, it's just like,
And now it's kind of looped back around to that, like, they've reclaimed it.
Basically. Yeah, definitely.
Also, something in England's different from Australia.
Mm.
They advertise books.
They advertise books.
I don't know if I've ever seen a poster advertising a book in Australia.
Fuck yeah, maybe not.
Right?
Because
here, in all the tubes, they'll have multiple posters for multiple different books.
Yeah.
My favorite one at the moment is there's a new Jack Reacher book.
Yeah.
It's like Jack Reacher never goes back until now. It's like Jack Reacher's two defining qualities are never going back and not being able to walk away.
Mate, it's a killer franchise, your Jack Reacher.
Oh, fuck it. Do you know how he writes Jack Reacher, just quickly?
Pardon?
The guy Lee Child, who's written like 30 of these things.
Yeah.
The way he writes, his process, is he will sit down at a typewriter.
Yeah.
Or a computer, I guess these days. And he'll just start typing like, Jack Reacher woke up in the room.
Yeah.
And he looked around. He doesn't know why Jack Reach is in the room at this point. He doesn't know what's going to happen. And he just starts and he just goes from there. And then he's just making it up on the fly as he's writing this book. Just like keeps like throwing him in situations and then like but then he bashed everyone and got out. And then like at the end of the book, he'll kind of be like, if he's done a twist or whatever, he'll go back and change a few key sections or something like that. But basically he just writes in this like free form jazz kind of mentality.
So basically what you're saying is Jack Reacher is a first draft.
Yeah,
Just bang.
dude, that's it. Like he writes the way you write when you're a kid and you just don't understand how writing works and you just like start with a just like thing and you just go.
Rohan was a boy.
Yeah.
He's in a room. I need to keep talking because my voice is going.
Yeah. And that's why there's scenes in the book. Like I'm pretty sure it's in the first Jack Reacher book. He like wakes up, he's been chained to a wall in like a basement. The bad guy's coming back to torture him, and you're like, oh fuck, how's he gonna get out of this one? He's like the smartest guy. He's like a military police officer. He knows all these like tricks and shit.
Yeah.
And then he just goes like and just snaps the chain off the wall because he's real strong.
Classic. That's Fast and Furious 5. Vin Diesel just has been like hung up by his arms and just breaks the chain.
He does, doesn't he?
Like that's like he's like waiting for the bad guy to do the speech,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then he leaves and just breaks the chain. Like
That's
could have done
it.
that the whole time.
Yeah,
just killed
yeah.
him there and then.
Because the bad guy's there with a bunch of guys, and then he's basically like, "You guys caused me enough trouble. I'm going to kill you now."
Yeah.
Then he leaves with most of the guys. There's just two guys left to kill him and Paul.
Yeah, and then he just breaks the chain from above his head. Very difficult. Vin
Why
Diesel
isn't this podcast about Fast and Furious? But yeah, no, advertising books.
advertising books. Any other key difference?
Do
you feel anything strongly?
No, like I've said, maybe it's that I'm not. Maybe it's that I'm not experiencing the country or the city enough by myself because I've been with family the whole time. But it basically feels quite similar to Australia.
Yeah, I mean, I think culturally, like apart from New Zealand, it has to be.
Which obviously
one.
makes sense.
Yeah, like this has to be like it goes like Australia, New Zealand, probably UK, then US, and then maybe Canada, then like South Africa. I reckon those if you.
Yeah.
I think South Africa is quite different. I don't know. Maybe Canada is closer. I've heard that. Of like a lot of people like Canada's cold Australia.
Canada's called Australia.
Yeah, pretty much the same.
I always think
big place, low population.
Like Canada as being like New Zealand.
Like New Zealand, like more natural.
Just like everyone there is nicer.
Okay. But yeah, I think Australians are nicer like out of the big cities. Like
yeah.
I think like Sydney and Melbourne are just big cities, and I think big cities around the world are probably more similar than big cities to the rest of the country they're in.
Yeah,
like London is completely different to the rest of the UK, and that's like the funny thing. Like listening to you talk, like you're saying, like British people, which is something I do. Whereas like over here, like they would be like everyone you've met so far is English.
What's
like,
the distinction? So Britain refers to Scotland, Ireland,
Northern Ireland, and Wales.
Northern Ireland, Wales, and England.
And England.
And then England is just England.
England is just inland, and
then the UK is what?
That incorporates like the other islands, like the Isle of Man, the Isle of Wight. They have like their own little parliaments and shit.
But not Ireland, or
never
Scotland.
Ireland,
or Scotland.
The Republic of Ireland. No, like the Republic of Ireland.
But wait, when you say UK,
separate.
are you including Scotland?
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's part of the United Kingdom.
Yeah.
That's why the UK flag is like the St. George's Cross, the St. Andrew's Cross, and what's the other one? Fuck. It's England, Ireland, and Wales.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, England, Ireland, Scotland. No, England, Scotland, and Wales. Fuck. That's the one. That's the Union Jack.
Get that in editing.
That's what becomes the Union Jack. The podcast is called the Union Jack off, and I don't fucking know.
Oh, the Union. Right. Yeah. Because it is. It's
three flags overlaid.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, no. So I think that's an interesting distinction, and it like leans into like the Brighton Hove thing.
Yeah.
Like here, people like from where they're from. Like don't lump it in.
Yeah.
Like it's like Sydney and Melbourne are like we're different places because we're like 10 hours drive apart.
Even different parts of London.
Yeah.
People get kind of
North London, South London, West London, East London. It's all they see the distinction and they are prideful.
Yeah.
Like they take pride in that distinction.
Yeah.
That's kind of where they're at. But it's interesting, man. Like could you see yourself like living here? Is this like somewhere?
Yeah, I hope to move here. Yeah. I just hope to move here in the near future.
Yeah.
Because
for
comedy wise,
yeah, just for your professional comedy purposes.
Well, yeah. Basically, I've yeah, there's just not that much opportunity in Australia, and
Yeah.
there's not much money on the ground level. Like you can kind of, I feel like in Australia you're either earning, well over 100 grand off comedy
Yeah.
or entertainment, I should say, because you got to be working on like the radio.
Yeah, they're definitely. I think comedy audiences are more rowdy here because they're less into the comedy. They're
And
just
then-
it's just an alternative.
It's just a thing to
Evening.
do. Yeah, sure. That's it, which is interesting.
Like that
and
is
it's
kind of
definitely like appealing.
we could go out to dinner. We could go to the movies. Why don't we
Yeah,
do
that's
comedy?
something is I feel like culturally there is just like more of a kind of like comedy is just one of the like things that you have the option of doing with your day.
Well, that's it. It's like it's
Which
it's
is
like-
not so much in Australia. It's like,
in Australia. It's like
oh, you know what I did? I actually went to see some comedy recently. But over here, like my see, this is the thing. My parents have only ever been to comedy nights to see me or to like see someone they've seen off the TV
yeah.
in Australia. But over here, like all of my aunties and uncles were kind of being like, yeah, we went to a comedy night or we go to this one every month or,
Yeah.
that sort of thing. And it's just more of a thing you do.
That has been such a common thread whenever I've spoken to Australians on here.
Yeah.
Like honestly, just like being like, yeah, people know they have like a knowledge of comedy that is completely independent of the conversation they're having with me.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
They don't need me to be like, they're like, wait, there's comedy in Sydney?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like,
Oh,
yes, there
dude,
is.
like honestly, yeah, because most people in Australia, if I'm doing comedy, they're like, oh, really? So where does that happen? Like,
Yeah, I didn't realize.
yeah.
Was it during the festival? It's like, no, it actually happens every week.
And then 90% of gigs you do in Australia,
Mm.
the MC will always ask everyone who new comedy was on.
Yeah, it's like it's just a completely different attitude.
Yeah, because it's just like run out of, and there's no clubs. There's 3 in the whole continent in Australia.
Yeah.
Oh, we're not a continent anymore. 3 in the whole island.
Are we not a continent anymore?
I think it got taken back, which fair enough. We weren't doing anything with it.
I mean, it was our thing.
Yeah, we're the only island continent and country.
Yeah, that was nice. That was a nice little Australia selling point.
Mm. But yeah, no, I think it's maybe not a continent anymore. But even if it is, there's 3 in all of Australia.
Yeah.
Dedicated comedy clubs.
So just like the main reason, would you ever move here if not for comedy? Like, would
no.
this hold appeal? Nah.
No, if I had a comedy career back in Australia, I wouldn't be thinking about moving here, to be honest.
Right. It's
Oh no, maybe I would, because I'd probably get hungry for those bigger
fish.
bigger fish. You want to reach the most.
Bigger arenas.
You want the most people to tell you you're okay. But yeah, no, I think Australia is just like it's kind of like the best place to live in terms of quality of life.
Yeah.
There's stuff, if you're living in Sydney or Melbourne, it's kind of like there's enough of a city there that you don't feel like you're...
All right, how about this? Would you prefer to live in London or any city in Australia that's not Sydney or Melbourne?
London, I think.
Yeah, London beats Brisbane. Brisbane's coming up.
Nah, it's not.
Nah.
I went there, it's not.
Yeah.
No, I think London over any Australian city that's not
Sydney or
Melbourne.
And then what about the States? You got the triple threat visa. Does that hold any appeal?
The States?
America, yeah.
Jesus Christ. That feels like a bad bet.
A bad bet.
It really does.
What, for like lifestyle, comedy? What?
Well, just because I'd have to pick a side in the Civil War.
Look, man, I don't want to break this to you, but you're half Indian, so I don't think the South really wants you.
Oh, dude, come on.
Unless you're fighting for free.
Indians are very Republican. They're very right wing as a people.
Get the fuck out of here, really?
Yeah, dude.
What,
Modi, the current prime minister, he's a very right wing guy.
in India?
Yeah.
Right wing. Not like in America, like the
Indians in America are all right wing.
No.
In a big part of Indian thing is like, okay, so recently in India they had to do this. I'm basing this mostly off just my relatives.
Yeah, great.
But in India they recently had to do this thing where they had to remove this like 10,000 rupee note from circulation
Yeah.
and be like, this no longer is worth anything, because so many people in India, the middle class and the upper class, would not use banks. They would only hide their money in walls or in like under the bed in cash in these huge denomination notes, because they just don't want to be like paying taxes.
Right. So they're right wing for the small government aspect.
Small government,
Like
keep
no
what's
tax,
yours is yours.
take care
No
of
one
yourself.
tells me what to do.
Right.
Also, pretty religious country, pretty conservative.
Yeah, sure.
They don't want women to be fucking mouthing off about how they hate getting assaulted. Like it's pretty. Yeah.
It's pretty
and
real.
then my
Okay.
my family and my Indian family over in America, they're pretty staunch Republicans.
Really? Even with Trump and shit? They're still just like...
Not with Trump. That's where they tapped out.
that's the line.
That's the line.
Wow.
Yeah.
They were like, look, we'll take them as long as they're not like openly racist.
No, but they were
Just
like, Bush, McCain, blah blah blah. Yeah, they
Wow.
were still on board with all of that. And also, let's be honest, like, what do Republicans and Hindus have in common? They fucking hate Muslims. Like,
I mean, look, that's a fair point. They're playing for the same team in that civil war.
yeah. But you're right though. When the guns actually come out, like,
Yeah.
it's gonna. I'll also look Mexican.
Oh man, that's funny. All right, well, mate, it's been good chatting. Do you have places where people can find you? Do you have a web presence?
I'm on Instagram, Rohan_Ganju.
You're saying that because I tagged a fake Rohan Ganju in a photo of him.
I want to boost this kid.
It was pretty funny. But yeah, what are you? Twitter, Facebook?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter if you want to see me tweet once a year. And
What's your handle?
I think it's just at Rohan Ganju.
Yeah, Facebook.
And then Facebook is just Rohan Ganju.
There you go.
And you can find it. You can
Find it there.
See what we're posting.
You see Rohan in Australia, in Melbourne, or maybe in London.
Maybe
in
in
the
London,
future.
if things go according to plan. Yeah.
That's it. All right, there we finish the podcast. It's more fun because usually it's people from overseas, but we say cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Fucking nailed it. Rohan Ganju, pleasure. All right, that was my chat with Rohan Ganju, a very good friend of mine. Interesting to hear his take on the UK. I love that he pictured English people as just like 7-year-olds who correct you over tea while giving you a delicious biscuit. I think that is the absolute way that I thought about them before I moved here. And also super interesting that Indian people are very right-wing. I had no idea. That is good knowledge to carry forward, especially that they vote Republican in the US. I just figured the whole kind of racial element of that would put them off. But hey, small government, right? You can be right-wing and for non-racist reasons. Everybody forgets. It's quite easy to forget, but you can. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode. I've got some big guests coming up over the next couple of weeks. We will get back on schedule, I promise you. As always, if you do enjoy the Union Jack-Off, please get down to our iTunes page and give us 5 stars. We have so few reviews compared to how many people listen to this podcast. I know it would be cool if you take the time, drop us 5 stars, and make us seem like the big dogs that we are. Other than that, my name is Daniel Muggleton. You can get at me at Dan Muggleton on Twitter and Instagram with any questions or to keep up with where I'll be performing all over the UK. Other than that, mates, it's been a goddamn pleasure. I will catch you next week. Cheers. Bye.